Murphy Austin Adams Schoenfeld LLP, focusing on business law and commercial litigation, is proud to support Rob on the Road, Region Rising. More information available at murphyaustin.com.
On the next Rob on the Road, Region Rising, a fresh perspective on helping our homeless, the moving mobile ministry of Mercy Peddlers.
It's that looking in the eyes of the other person and recognizing them. And they're like, oh my God, he asked me my name. And I'm Rob, what's your name?
A place of belonging for every child. Stanford Sierra Youth Families is bringing together hearts and homes.
What do you need to say to feel like this time will help make a difference in your calling?
Sacramentans boldly sharing untold stories through the Bold Speaker Series. And marking a major milestone and walking into the next chapter with the patriarch of Paragarys. There's a place for you on Rob on the Road, Region Rising.
And now, Rob on the Road, exploring Northern California.
We wear our blue vests, so I have 75 peddlers out there on different streets. And now a homeless person looks for the vest and go, oh, it's a Mercy Peddler, I'm over here.
Sister Libby Fernandez is used to the streets of Sacramento.
I like Sacramento because they do have a lot of bike lanes.
For 30 years, this Sister of Mercy has embraced every person she passes as a neighbor, a friend. They're not your typical neighbors. These are the residents of Sister Libby's heart, without a place to call home in Sacramento. They're waiting on Sister Libby's love and care to roll up on her moving ministry, Mercy Peddlers.
Oh, I got some hot coffee.
Sister Libby is here every single day. 75 volunteers have joined her nonprofit outreach, bringing mercy to the streets.
I love being downtown because it's eclectic. You see people who work for the state, business people, and you see a lot of homeless. You know, people who have a bench to spend the day on because they have no other place to be.
On this day, it's cold, windy, with temps in the 30s. In less than 15 minutes, we're working with 10 people.
And that's pretty too.
We have Velveeta.
They've been out here all night long. And each of them explained where they came from.
Yeah.
And it's no different than circumstances that other people go through, except they don't have anyone to fall back on.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I just look at Barry, who you gave a blanket to today, and he is from the foster care system. And he has a slight learning disability. So he's not quite disabled, but enough that it's hard for him to get a job or even to finish education. God bless you, okay?
Thank you,
all right, bye-bye.
You too.
We cannot afford housing in California. People who are on fixed income, our seniors, who are on the edge, right there, close to homelessness. So we have more and more people suffering on the streets, lots more waiting there right at the edge.
Put this around like this. And if I asked everybody we met today experiencing homelessness, what would you say if you were at the table trying to help come up with a solution? Every one of them said, we want to help.
Yeah.
Do you know, not one person asked me for money.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that great? We're serving people who need something warm to drink, some nutrition, gloves, hats.
Look at that. They actually match.
Thanks, I appreciate this, sir.
Bye, Clarence. Have a good day.
Bye, Clarence.
Sister Libby began working with Sacramento's homeless population in 1989 at Loaves and Fishes, Sacramento's largest homeless operation, offering a hot meal to about 1,000 people every day at noon. Sister Libby rose to the top as CEO, bringing mental health needs and new gathering spaces to Loaves and Fishes, as she witnessed the number of people she was serving grow.
I found it very difficult in my heart that people who are hungry in Sacramento have to travel from distances every day to get a hot meal.
One Cadillac coming up.
And it takes time, it takes a good part of your day. So how else can you get a job or do other business when you've got to eat? If you have 6,000 people in our city and county, you know, you can't expect them all to go to Loaves and Fishes for a meal during the afternoon. So we've got to reach out.
And we can't expect that from Loaves and Fishes either.
No. When the need is even greater and more visible, it gets overwhelming. It's like, come on, folks, let's wake up. Where are our shelters today? Where are our housing today? There's too many people suffering on the streets. It can get greater and overwhelming. And look at the elements out here. Can you imagine being out here at night?
And frankly, that's why we did not go inside, because we could have gone in somewhere to do this. We could have, but I wanted to do it in the real. This is what people are dealing with. And this is not even bad.
No, no,
Yet.
the rain hasn't even come yet.
What does mercy look like from here today?
Mercy is bringing compassion and heart and direct services to people in need. And to be a person of mercy is not a feeling, it's an action.
Want to do that one? Okay.
So when I think about this region rising, it starts with foundational steps.
Yes.
And you are one of them.
I love Sacramento, and I love the community members of Sacramento. I love how we all really do care, and we reach out, you know, whether it's the civic members, the community, the businesses, retired folks, family members. You know, we all really kind of like each other and like to work together.
I love you.
Very loving. I love you too, Rob.
Thank you for this day. Thank you.
Love you.
Did you know there are 60,000 children in the state of California searching for a family, a place to call home?
That last family and youth panel was pretty powerful. What do you have planned for next?
These children in need are much more than numbers to Laura Hines, and have been her entire life.
I was born into a family with adopted children, and one in particular, my sister Leslie, and I shared a room, and she was significantly disabled, 8 years older, and I never knew anything different. And she is my sister.
Laura has come a long way since her childhood days of helping others. Today, the CEO of one of the largest nonprofit family services in Northern California, Stanford Sierra Youth and Families. In 2019, Laura led the merger of Stanford Youth Solutions and Sierra Forever Families, bringing the complex needs of children, youth, and families in the community under one umbrella. Stanford Youth work to keep families together with therapy and resources for families in crisis. Sierra was a foster care and adoption agency. Laura says bringing the two together offers a broader continuum of services for any family unit, as well as the intentional removal of the word foster.
It's a resource.
That's right. So that's why we now call it a resource family, so that they can continue to be a resource to the family.
You do call it a resource
That's
family?
right.
Okay, great.
That's right. That they continue to support the birth family through unification, or they'll support a family through an adoption process.
That's beautiful.
So when we connect and show love and actually open our hearts to the children, right, to these young people that we're serving, it allows them to open their hearts too. And there's a transformation that then occurs.
You do see miracles happen.
I do.
There are about 2,500 children hoping for that transformation in the Sacramento area alone. Ebony Chambers works with each client to make sure resources are available 24 hours a day.
And you're not just talking about the person that you're helping the life change, be it the child or the adult, but you're finding someone to walk along with them.
Right.
Who's walked in their shoes.
Right, who's walked in their shoes. Absolutely. And that's the biggest piece. From my own lived experience as a mom of 4, my oldest that I adopted, she had a challenging time in her teenage years, and we had a team of support that was there to help walk alongside us. And that made me say, we have to make sure that this happens for every family. Every family needs someone that they can have someone help them walk alongside and break that isolation.
And that came from your life experience.
Absolutely, yeah.
In each of these children's lives, both Laura and Ebony say success boils down to belonging. That's why Stanford Sierra Youth and Families works to embolden each child in hopes of putting them on a path for a healthy, productive, and self-sufficient life.
You talk about the importance of the sense of belonging. Explain to me what you mean by a sense of belonging.
How I see it is that all of us, all human beings, have that need to have the deep connection, meaning that there's a space in your heart for me, and that person, and I'm just using us as an analogy, that person knows there's a space in the heart for the other, that they kind of live within each other. Do you understand that?
For a minute then, imagine that person who is this source of belonging to you, and then imagine your life without them. That's what you're trying to prevent.
That's right.
Because without belonging comes isolation, and with isolation becomes a lot of danger.
A lot of tragedy.
At times.
A lot of tragedy with isolation. That sense of aloneness.
What matters most to you, Ebony?
What matters most to me is our community thriving. That for generations to come, there is an impact where we are more connected, we are supporting each other, and we're healthier.
And if there was something today that must be shared from you?
Something today that must be shared.
What is it? In any area? What do you need to say to feel like this time will help make a difference in your calling?
That when we as a community see a need, be it you're within your own family unit or extended family, that you step in and you ask for help, that you reach out and if there's a need, and you get connected so that you can be supported in ensuring that no child is left isolated and alone without connection.
And back to where this all began, in Laura's home, as a child with another child in need by her side. Laura sounds the call.
We really do need families to step up for emergency placements. And it may turn into a long-term, permanent placement, and it may turn into them being a resource family to reunify a child or support a child through a healing process. I believe just the heart connection will change a person.
Coming up, restaurateur Randy Paragary has something new on the menu.
This is the corner of 28th and Capitol.
Yes.
And look! This is
Look
so
what's here.
cool, Randy. I love it.
These 4 letters set the stage for a fast-growing speaker series, spelling out stories many would never dare to share. This is bold in more ways than one. Every person gathering here at Oak Park's Guild Theater has come together around these 4 letters and the women who will boldly define them. Each speaker breaking down the word bold into an acronym: bravery, optimism, leading, and oppression. Bold is spearheaded by a well-known business leader ready to bare her soul. Rachel Zillner, a former vice president of a leading banking institution, walked away from her high-powered job to tackle the things in life that were holding her and others back.
Although I loved my career with my financial institution, and I loved the people that I worked with, and I certainly loved my paycheck, that work had come to a point where it was a distraction from being able to do or figure out what it is I should be doing.
Okay, I want to hone in on that, because that sounds like a career crisis of calling.
Yeah.
Because your career is thriving, but your soul is growing and you need more.
Yes.
Rachel is a mother of two with an impressive list of awards. She was chosen as one of Sacramento's 40 under 40, served as board chair of Metro Edge with the Metro Chamber, and was the 2018 Executive Woman of the Year from the Sacramento chapter of the National Association of Women Business Owners. But it was her management style. Simply put, sharing the worst of times to bring out the best in others and themselves.
For me, it was a small sample in my workspace, right? Like I would encounter people and I would say, "How are you?" And then I would say, "How are you really?" And the deep breath would come and then more information. And I would connect with people that way. I started keeping tissues in my office to let people know this is a safe space to just be a whole human. And people would come in, they'd do their thing, they'd take that deep breath, and then they would be very productive and could feel good about the work or how they were contributing. But we get stuck in these pockets of things that are happening to us or things that are happening around us that you have to get through to go forward, right? And for many of us, we've buried these things for decades, right?
Many.
Right. And so Bold came out of that as here's something I think we can do that will speak to women, it will speak to men, it will speak to children, whatever that looks like, but specifically with the intent to eventually put this into workplace learning.
Okay, now I completely get it.
Societal standards of success and prestige, I believe, can actually contribute to poor mental health outcomes.
Being a leader is not just a title, it's a calling. It's also an action.
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a trained professional, I'm a human. I'm a human that struggles with depression.
From CEOs to award winners, whatever it is, ladies are the last to step into that space.
This first time, like you said, it was bravery, optimism, leadership, and depression, intentionally creating a series around emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence.
You got it. So for me, that was the something that needed to be elevated in our region, in our nation, in our space, and as a people, that we need to be better around our emotional intelligence.
Why?
Because you have to speak to a whole person, right? Like we've moved into a space as a society where we just surface each other, right? I'm here on a phone or on a whatever, and I feel like I'm connecting. Oh, me too. And or you walk down the hallway and you say, "Hey, how's it going? Great, and you walk away.
Rachel walked into her new reality by building a financial bridge to cover her while navigating uncharted personal waters. Along with her family, Rachel opened Beat the Room, an experiential escape room business now with 2 locations and 26 employees, stepping back from the banking desk and onto the stage of life to help build this region rising.
When you open your heart, you open others.
Right.
And your message oddly becomes universal.
Yeah. You know, every person has a story. Every single one of us has a story to share. And everyone can relate to some element of your life or your space. And I think it was important, like,
if you let them.
Rachel says the magic to make this region rise is to get real. Take talks at home and work to a deeper level.
find a space where you create a safe space for you and people you love to be vulnerable, right? Like, it can't be a bad thing.
Randy Paragary is the toast of the town as he celebrates 50 years as one of the most successful restaurateurs in the capital region. It may surprise you to learn that Randy is not a chef.
Hi Sarah, what are you making?
But he is a culinary genius, a dreamer, and a doer. Those traits are arguably the secret ingredients to his half-century of success. In 5 decades, Paragary has launched more than 30 restaurants and bars, including his flagship location, Paragary's, at 28th and N Streets in Sacramento. Paragary's opened in 1983, a pivotal time for the restaurant world.
In 1983, when Paragary's was open, you got to remember that was in '83. That was another revolution. It was taking place in California, where we had this concept called California Cuisine, and that was invented by Jeremiah Tower, Alice Waters, Wolfgang Puck. The interesting thing about the definition of California cuisine, which was seasonal, local, and fresh, is the same thing as is described farm to fork today, or farm to table. So in 1983, that was called California cuisine. Today, that description is called farm to fork. I was able to study what was going on in Berkeley at Chez Panisse, go there and wood-fired pizza oven. I had never seen that before. Wolfgang Puck did the same thing in LA on Sunset Boulevard.
This is the pizza oven that lit the flame for Paragary, that still burns brightly in his heart and his hometown. Among his successful ventures are Centro, multiple Cafe Bernardo locations, Esquire Grill, and R15. For Randy, hospitality is closest to his heart.
As you look at your career, which is thriving, and you're still in the middle of, what will have made it worth it for you?
I think ultimately it will be reputation. I don't think I've ever opened a flop. I've had places that have to change over time, but there's never been a grand opening and, you know, the first week, the first month, the first year I'm standing at the door and there's nobody coming in.
All right.
I'm really looking forward to showing you the hotel.
I am too.
Randy is ready to open the door to another chapter of his career, just a block away from Paragary's, taking his love of hospitality to new heights.
Robert, I'm really excited to show you this. You're the first to come in.
Oh, nice! Thank you so much.
Area, so this is going to be really, really fun.
This is the corner of 28th and Capitol.
Yes.
And look! This is
Look
so
here.
cool, Randy. I love it. It's just going up so fast.
105-room hotel already.
This will be Sacramento's newest luxury hotel, the Fort Sutter Hotel, the first of its kind tapestry collection by Hilton. The high-ceiling, art-filled, intimate boutique beauty is comparable to top-tier places in other major cities. The 80-foot-tall structure is on familiar ground.
Look where
So
we
now
are.
we're at Cafe Bernardo. This is
My
the
gosh.
Capitol Avenue address. This will all be the dining room furniture throughout this whole space. All these windows are nano walls that completely open up.
How does this feel to you?
It's exciting. I mean, it's been a long journey. This is like opening a restaurant, only stepped up a few notches with 105 rooms with guests staying here. So, but it's something I want to do. It's not like I'm opening the hotel now I've got to go to work. It's really, in my mind, a joy. I mean, I really want to spend a lot of time here.
Do you plan on working forever?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Till the end.
Yeah, I think so.
The new hotel, opening in the spring of 2020, is expected to create 100 new jobs. It'll share an outdoor, upscale 20-foot wide eating area and bar, connecting B Street Theater with Fort Sutter Hotel.
We're going to the roof.
We walk up and tour 6 floors. Each one will be filled with top-end art. This is Pat Mahoney's floor. Above it will be Micah Crandall-Bear and other renowned local artists.
And we're gonna step out onto, wow.
This is definitely part of the private tour,
roof.
Rob. This is gonna be part of the guest experience. This is for you only.
Oh my gosh, Randy.
Yeah, isn't this pretty?
How beautiful, and thank you for bringing us up here. So have you been up here by yourself?
Sure, oh yeah.
What did you think?
Well, I've been up here many times. It's, the first time I came up and got to see it the way you're looking at it, I had the same reaction you have. It's like, wow, look at this. It's really something I hadn't seen before.
Except the difference is yours.
Right, I know. I like that part of it. This is my view.
I know.
You can have it too, though.
We are really up here, and I tell you, I think it's so fitting that you are in our Region Rising show, because we are really rising. This is just spectacular.
That's Rob on the Road, Region Rising. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Murphy Austin Adams Schoenfeld LLP, focusing on business law and commercial litigation, is proud to support Rob on the Road, Region Rising. More information available at murphyaustin.com.